Hi, students. I wanted to talk with you briefly today about storytelling because your next major essay, the profile essay, you will be telling somebody's story, in addition to doing some research on one facet of their life. But today, we're not going to focus on research, we're going to focus on what makes a compelling story. Well, you have to have a compelling character, someone who's interesting. This is the person you interview for the essay. They should be authentic, meaning they should feel like a real person when you write about them. They should seem like their motivations are, if not relatable, then at least explainable. They should feel like a real person. They are a real person, so don't make them sound like a superhero or a villain or someone they're really not. They're human beings, so they should come across as such. Obviously, they should have a story to tell, something to say about an event in their life that changed them. This person should be somewhat out of the ordinary. They don't have to be, a complete weirdo or someone unrelatable, but they should be someone who sticks out in a certain way. And if they don't, then in your writing, you need to draw forth those qualities that make them seem like they might be out of the ordinary or just a little bit different from everybody else, because we all are to a certain degree. And it's your job as the writer to highlight those features and characteristics. They should have a strong personality, and by that I don't mean they have to be loud or boisterous or anything like that. A person can be very quiet and shy and still have a strong personality. So again, this is up to the writer to draw out those features when you're writing about them and really highlight their personality, make their persona come across in the story that you tell. And then they should also be dimensional. They shouldn't be one thing. Because we're not one thing. We are many different people at different times, and we feel different ways in different situations. So draw that out in your writing. They should feel like a real dimensional person and not someone you've made up. Good storytelling has conflict. Conflict is an issue or problem that has to be overcome. What's a story without a problem to overcome? Hint, it's not a story. So, again, you're going to focus on one major event that this person had to overcome or something they went through which changed them. Kind of like if you've written a personal narrative, you probably focused on an event in your own life that kind of forced you to change, to reevaluate things. So that's what you're going to do for someone else in this essay, and combine it with some research that you will do. So what is this interview subject's biggest conflict or obstacle, and how did it change them? That's what will be the crux of this essay. Again, these conflicts can be external or internal. When we talk about external conflicts, that would be a conflict that they've overcome outside of themselves. It could be outrunning a tornado like this kid here. It could be physically fighting someone. It could be giving birth to a child. It could be anything that's outside of that person, which is a problem or something that needs to be resolved. An internal conflict, conversely, would be an issue that's going on inside of the character. So think of it as the storm or the tornado, in this case, inside of someone, an emotional problem they have to confront. Those can be equally compelling and oftentimes more life-changing. The place or setting where your character is telling their story about, you should highlight that in this essay and make it come alive on the page. Any place, any town can be interesting if you draw out certain details. It could be someone's kitchen. It could be New York City, like we see on the right here. Again, place matters, and it should come alive on the page in your essay because it's part of the story. And again, it's your job to make it seem interesting, even if on the surface it doesn't automatically seem that way. A good story has a dramatic arc or a plot. In this case, we'll just make it very simple. Your story should have, or your essay should have, a beginning, some sort of main conflict revolving around the character, a resolution of that conflict, and then a separate piece, a reflection of what this means for the person. So, beginning, conflict resolution, some sort of end or solving of the problem at hand, and then a reflection. How did that change this person, this event, this conflict? And speaking of the reflection piece, if you'll think of Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, compare her from the beginning of the movie until the end, when she's gained all this insight and wisdom and realized that she had it pretty good back in Kansas, and all she wants is to be back with her family. She realized that what's important in life, she already had. It was there with her the entire time. And lastly, I'll leave you with this. Are there any other elements of storytelling that you consider important? What makes a story compelling or interesting to you? Think about that and add that into your narrative when it gets time to write these things. All right. Thank you very much.